Alex, it's QPR final home game of the season tomorrow. How desperate are the team to end their home campaign on high?
Yeah, I think that, well, there's a couple of things, isn't there? Obviously, we want to try and make sure the fans that have sort of paid their hard-earned money, they've followed us, obviously, sort of the length and breadth of the country. And also for their sort of support, we want to make sure we try and finish the home form on a better note. We know it hasn't been as good as we would like it this season. So that's something we certainly need to improve. But I think it'd be nice for us and for them that we obviously try and finish this game as a good one. And also I think we've got a lot of loan players. You know, obviously there's a lot of things to happen as to whether they come back or not in the summer. We've got guys out of contract, again the same boat, whether they come back or sign new contracts or not in the summer. So I think for a variety of different reasons, we want to make sure that we try and end it on a positive note.
When you consider QPR will be bringing a large travelling support and that they're obviously still fighting for survival, do you feel as though that'll add to the atmosphere and the competitive edge?
I hope so. I think that they're not mathematically safe. You know, I think it'd take a strange sequence of results for them to be sort of embroiled in it. But as every team knows, until you're sort of done, you're not done type thing. So yeah, I thought they got a massive result at Burnley. You know, I don't think anybody expected that one with how good Burnley have been. But I think it basically sums up the championship. So we know they're going to come here. I think they've picked up 4 points in the last 2 games, and they're going to come here and obviously try and add to that. So yeah, we're going to have to make sure we're at it.
How do you feel it'll pan out tactically on the day?
Yeah, I think that obviously I've played against Gareth's teams before. I think he's sort of shaping them up very similar to what he's done before when he was at Wycombe. The last sort of 3-4 games they've played 2 strikers, they put the ball up to them, get crosses into the box, quite direct in their play. So we know we're going to have to cope with that. We're going to have to make sure we win first and second balls, and then we're going to have to use the ball well. So, but if we can do that, I think we've got a great opportunity then to go and pick up the points. Looking
ahead to next season, do you feel like a game like tomorrow gives you an opportunity to put some building blocks in place for the summer and the new campaign?
I think it's probably more about trying to finish this one on a good note. I don't think this game's going to have any bearing on next season, but I think we want to make sure we add to optimism for the fans for next season in terms of making sure we win this game. We want to make sure that, like I say, for the guys that have been here and whether they remain here or not, that we finish this campaign at home in a good light. So yeah, I think the 2 reasons in the main are obviously important for us.
During the season we've seen some high quality performances, if not the consistency hasn't been there, but what do you feel as though you need to add in the summer to get those consistent performances and results?
I think that's been our biggest frustration, is consistency. You know, I think there's been a number of games this season where we've been very dominant, we've conceded maybe 1 or 2 shots on target and we've lost a lot of points due to that, and I think when that happens it kills momentum. It then starts to wear away a bit at belief. I think that we've showed real purple patches in the season, we've showed really good form and we've looked like a really good side. I think I'd like us to be more resilient next year in terms of, obviously, if we can see the first goal, not to react too disappointed and make sure we got on with it. And yeah, I think we've spoke at length about some of the tools we feel we need to add to the squad for next season in terms of how we're going to play.
If you can get the stadium bouncing next season, how good do you feel as though that could be in terms of getting where you want to be?
Well, I think any team, like if you view success, right, whether success is Nottingham Forest, for instance, staying in the Premier League, they're relying on their home form to do so. Bournemouth will probably be the same. I think that if you look at teams in the Championship that are successful, Sheffield United, Burnley, probably the best home form in the league. That's a sort of key pillar of success, is making sure that your home sort of form's great. It's sort of a cauldron, and make sure that your fans are backing you. And we haven't had that. You know, it really is as simple as that. That element of our game's been disappointing, and I think next season it's going to be really crucial that we make that better. And if we do make it better, it gives us a great platform to go and try and kick on.
It's Nigel Johnson's final commentary for BBC Radio Stoke tomorrow after 54 years at the helm. How have you found him to deal with during your time here this season?
Yeah, great. You know, we were speaking about him earlier, and I think that when he's got a great manner about how he asks his questions, I think that he doesn't add any sort of feeling towards it. You know, it's quite like sort of subjective in terms of the game, and it allows you to add what you feel you need to add when you're answering it. He's got a very good manner, and obviously he's going to be sorely missed. You know, he's been here for a number of years, and I think everybody at the club would just like to thank him for his service in terms of what he's done for for basically Stoke in general, you know, in terms of having sort of covered us, I think, is it 54 years, which is incredible. So, yeah.